In this video we're gonna look at an amazing way to earn millions of gil with those new Grand Company loot boxes that were added in 6.0. Hide on the side without doing a lot at all, or so much more by investing just a little bit of time into it. Hey, it's Full Banana Johnson, welcome to my channel, where I want to share all the amazing stuff I come across in Final Fantasy XIV and beyond. So make sure to click the subscribe button. Links to everything I mention you can find in the description box down below. The new Final Fantasy XIV Gamba boxes or material containers are chests that contain either one mount or minion that can be sold on the market board, even including some with a worth up to 14 million gil, which is pretty ridiculous given how easy it is to get a ton of those boxes by just handing in leftover items from dungeons, raids, trials, or all that stuff your retainer keeps clogging your bags with. So today we're gonna look at how to get them, what's in them, and most importantly, how to get the most out of them. First off, to buy those loot boxes that are known as Material Container 3.0 and 4.0, you have to have your captain's rank of your Grand Company unlocked. If you haven't done that yet, because you maybe never looked into this or just started your adventure, on the screen right now you can see what you need to get your captain's rank. Most of these steps are pretty simple and can be completed rather quickly. I will also leave a link to a complete and more visual guide in the description down below. Next, we need to get a lot of Grand Company seals, which can be done in a couple of ways. But the best way to get those seals is to trade in items for expert deliveries, which are unlocked upon reaching the rank Sergeant 2nd class. This should be no problem due to the fact that you need to get up to captain rank to buy those boxes in the first place. You can buy those boxes at your Grand Company quartermaster behind the counter of your Grand Company headquarters. Then select the third tab on the left, then the material tab where you scroll all the way down. And there they are, those shiny new loot boxes teasing you with what riches they might hold. Now coming up next, I'm gonna talk about what the biggest items are you can receive out of those containers if you want to get either 3.0 or 4.0 and why, and then I'm gonna share 2 tricks to get a whole lot more seals for more boxes rather quickly. But first, like the video and comment. If you got any other questions or maybe want me to make a video on Grand Company ranks or other things like that. Your idea could turn into one of the next videos I'm working on. On top of that, at the end of the video will be a special announcement on content going forward. The most sought after items here are Copycat Bulb and Night Pegasus Whistle, both worth around 40 million gil, followed by 3 more mounts from Stormblood, all worth around 5 to 6 million gil each. And a bunch of minions worth around 1 million gil and below. After opening around 200 boxes myself and a lot of box openings from my free company, the estimate for amount seems to be around 50 containers. So it seems 4.0 is the logical winner, right? Wrong. And here's why. First of all, there's a simple and not so simple answer depending on what you want. The simple one is to go for whatever expansion you're missing the most mounts and minions from. Either 3.0 for A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward, or 4.0 for Stormblood. The more in-depth answer is shown in the context of Gil. For us it stands now, if you want to try high risk, high reward, you could go with Material Container 4.0 having more high-end Gil items, though I would advise against it for normal players at the moment. I myself keep buying 3.0 containers at this point, because of one important factor. In the beginning of Endwalker up to now, many if not most of the people thought that Stormblood boxes contain a lot higher priced items, so the market soon was flooded with those items. And their prices crashed into the ground. Low tier minions between 30 and 80k went all the way down under 1k per minion. Even high value minions between 1 and 2 million gil went down to 60 to 250k. 3.0 minions on the other hand just lost around 25 to 35% of their worth. With the Fat Cat for example starting at 550k, now standing at around 400k still. So if you want to be safe and make money for sure, go with those 3.0 boxes. And maybe get a super high spike with a Night Pegasus Whistle. or go with 4.0 if you don't care about save money and just want to go big time and make it all with 1 or 2 items. A little word of advice before telling you how to get a ton of free seals. Make sure to have enough ventures for your retainer before that. If you really want to make a lot of gil, getting your retainer running is one of the best and easiest ways to earn a lot of gil and extra seals, just not the fastest. Quick ventures are luck based, like our loot boxes, they just take a lot more time, but they have the highest seal to gil ratio of them all. Straight after that are the new loot boxes and far off stuff like teleportation tickets and glamour prisms. Make sure to have enough to make them run all the time. I will put a link to a guide about retainers that helped me a lot in the beginning below. Every method to get lots of seals shown until the end of this video can be used to stockpile ventures as well, so get them first, so you don't run out of them soon. Then go for those boxes and do so while you still can. Because I'm pretty sure as soon as most people are done with their Endwalker journey for now, mostly MSQ and gearing, a lot of people will start buying loot boxes and the money you can make from them will take a big hit. So for the 2 tips to get a bunch of extra seals. The first one is to jump into Shadowbringer Hunttrains. For everyone not familiar with Hunttrains, I will leave a link to a guide and a Discord server organizing those in the description below. Every Hunttrain rewards you with 480 sacks of nuts, the Shadowbringer Hunt currency, in about 15 to 20 minutes, rewarding also 360 poetics for all jobs or relic weapons, and 120 tomestones of aphorism for 570 level 90 gear. On top of that, you can use those nutsacks to buy a ton of item level 440 Ronkan gear. The trick here is to buy rings which are no longer unique and can be bought an unlimited amount of time for 25 sacks of nuts each, resulting in about 19 item level 440 rings to trade in for seals in about 15 minutes. The only problem here really is prime time, resulting in server hopping queues. But outside of those, you are able to farm a lot of those boxes and a bunch of extra currency. The second trick is even faster, but requires you to use some of your gil to make a lot more. The method to buy super cheap and, in my opinion, way underpriced gear from the market board to turn into seals. Those items should be level 60 or higher, rewarding by far the most seals for your gil. For example, I checked the last couple of days, there were a lot of super cheap weapons and other gear pieces on the market board for around 200 to 300 gil, rewarding around 900 to 1700 seals a piece. That means with my lowest amount of 2 gil per seal spent that I made on a pack of 60 boxes, at worst you are making 6 times the money you put in back, and at best around 17 times the gil you just spent. Of course, this method loses on efficiency when minion prices are tanking. Usually, I would say it's always worth to buy level 60 items up to 900 gil and level 70 and above for up to 1200 gil for a safe and nice profit. Especially ninja gear is really cheap because there's lots of it on the market board and only one job using it. So always look around for scouting items. So if you're not already fed up with WoW Refugee Journeys, I will start streaming my Endwalker adventure, MSQ and everything beyond, on Twitch starting Friday the 31st of December 10 AM GMT. So if you have any questions or just wanna hang out and see another refugee fail horribly on mechanics or go through an emotional roller coaster, make sure to tune in. I can't wait to meet more of the Final Fantasy XIV community for the first time. See you all on the moon.